Tonight, we are going to take a slow and quiet journey through science. Nothing too intense, nothing too loud, just gentle facts about space, Earth, animals, the human body, plants, and the tiny hidden worlds around us. You do not need to remember everything. You do not need to focus too hard. Just let each fact pass through your mind softly, like a cloud moving across the night sky. Some of these facts are about things very far away, like the moon and distant stars. Others are about things very close to us, like our heartbeat, our skin, or the soil beneath our feet. So, take a slow breath in and let it out. Now, let's begin with one of the quietest companions Earth has ever had, the moon. The moon may look still and silent in the night sky, but it is slowly changing its distance from Earth. Each year, the moon moves about 3.8 centimeters farther away from us. That is only about the length of a small paperclip, so it is far too slow for us to notice in daily life. But over millions of years, these tiny changes add up. This gentle drifting happens because of the pull between Earth, the moon, and the ocean tides. As Earth spins, the tides help pass a little energy to the moon. That energy slowly nudges the moon into a slightly wider orbit. Long ago, the moon was closer to Earth, and it would have looked larger in the sky. Far in the future, it will be a little farther away than it is now. But tonight, it is still our familiar moon, calm, bright, and steady above us. And from the moon, we can drift softly toward another quiet world. Venus is often called Earth's sister planet because it is similar in size, but in many ways, Venus is very different. One of the most interesting things about Venus is that a single day there is longer than a year. Venus spins so slowly that it takes longer to rotate once than it takes to travel around the sun. Here on Earth, a day feels short. The sun rises, moves across the sky, and sets again. But on Venus, the rhythm would be completely different. Time would feel stretched out and strange, almost dreamlike. Its clouds are thick, bright, and reflective, which is why Venus can shine so beautifully in our evening or morning sky. From Venus, let's move farther out to a planet surrounded by soft golden rings. Saturn? Saturn is one of the most peaceful-looking planets in the solar system. Its wide rings make it seem almost delicate, even though it is enormous. A gentle fact about Saturn is that it is less dense than water. If there were a bathtub large enough to hold it, Saturn would float. Of course, such a bathtub does not exist, but the idea helps us understand how light and airy Saturn is compared with its size. The planet is mostly made of hydrogen and helium, the same light gases found in stars. Its rings are made of countless pieces of ice and rock. Some are tiny like dust. Others are as large as mountains. Together, they form one of the most beautiful sights in space. And beyond Saturn's rings, stars are being born in quiet clouds. Stars begin their lives inside huge clouds of gas and dust called nebulae. These clouds can stretch across many light years. From far away, they can look soft and colourful, almost like glowing mist. But inside them, gravity is slowly at work. Little by little, parts of the cloud begin to gather together. As more material collects, the center becomes hotter and denser. Eventually, if enough matter comes together, a new star begins to shine. It is a slow process, happening over enormous amounts of time. No hurry, no sudden rush, just gravity gently pulling matter inward until light appears. In a way, every star in the night sky had a beginning like this, and one of those stars is very close to us, our sun. The sun often looks yellow from Earth, especially when it is low in the sky. But from space, the sun is actually white. Its light contains all the colors of the rainbow mixed together. When that light passes through Earth's atmosphere, Some colours scatter more than others. This is why the sun can look golden, orange or red, depending on the time of day. At sunrise and sunset, sunlight travels through more of the atmosphere. The softer colours become stronger, and the sky can glow beautifully, but above the atmosphere, away from the air that surrounds our planet, the sun shines as a white star, a steady star, a familiar star, and around that star, all the planets quietly move. When we look at the night sky, we see only a small part of what is really there. There are more stars in the universe than we can easily imagine. Some estimates suggest there may be more stars in the observable universe than grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth. That comparison is not meant to be exact. It is simply a way to feel the size of the cosmos. Every tiny point of light may be a star. Some may have planets around them. Some may be older than our sun. Others may be newly formed, still glowing from their beginning. The sky above us is not empty. It is full of quiet distance, ancient light and slow movement. And one nearby world gives us sunsets of a very different colour. Mars has blue sunsets. Here on Earth, sunsets often glow orange, red or pink. But on Mars, fine dust in the atmosphere scatters light in a different way. Near sunset, the sky around the sun can appear softly blue. Mars is a cold, dry world, covered in iron-rich dust that gives the planet its reddish colour. But at the end of the Martian day, that dusty air can create a calm blue glow. It is strange to imagine standing on another planet, watching a small sun sink toward the horizon, surrounded by pale blue light, a different sunset, a different sky, and still, somehow, peaceful. From Mars, we move to the largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter. Jupiter is huge, but it spins very quickly. A day on Jupiter lasts only about 10 hours. That means the planet rotates more than twice as fast as Earth. Because of this fast spin, Jupiter is slightly flattened at the poles and wider around the middle. Its clouds stretch into long bands, wrapping around the planet like soft ribbons. Storms move through its atmosphere, including the famous Great Red Spot, a storm that has lasted for centuries. Even though Jupiter is powerful and enormous, from far away it looks beautifully patterned and calm. A giant world turning quietly in space. Some objects in space are not quite planets and not quite stars. Brown dwarfs are often called failed stars, though they are not failures in any real sense. They are simply objects that did not gather enough mass to shine the way normal stars do. They are larger than planets, but smaller and cooler than stars. Some brown dwarfs are so cool by star standards that they give off very little visible light. They glow mostly in infrared, a kind of light our eyes cannot see. They drift through space quietly, dim and mysterious. Not every object in the universe has to shine brightly to be interesting. Some are almost hidden. And now let's return to the galaxy we call home. The Milky Way is slowly moving through space. Our galaxy is not sitting still. It is part of a large cosmic dance, moving along with many other galaxies. One day, billions of years from now, the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy will come together. But there is no need to imagine this as sudden or violent. Galaxies are mostly empty space. Stars are incredibly far apart. The meeting will happen slowly over an amount of time far beyond human life. For now, the Milky Way remains our home galaxy, a wide river of stars stretching across the night. And beneath that sky, our own planet is full of quiet science too. Earth's inner core lies deep below our feet. It is a solid ball of metal, mostly iron and nickel, surrounded by a liquid outer core. Even though it is incredibly hot, the pressure is so strong that the inner core stays solid. Scientists believe the inner core may rotate at a slightly different speed than the rest of the planet. We cannot visit it and we cannot see it directly. Instead, researchers study waves from earthquakes to learn what is happening deep inside Earth. It is strange and calming to think that far below us, beneath rock, mantle, and metal, the center of the planet is quietly moving. A hidden heart inside the Earth. Above that hidden core, most of our planet is covered in water. The ocean covers more than 70% of Earth's surface. From space, this is why our planet looks blue. The ocean shapes weather, supports life, stores heat, and connects continents. It is deep, moving, and full of mystery. Waves rise and fall on the surface, while far below, currents travel slowly through the dark. Some parts of the ocean are bright and warm, others are cold, deep, and silent. Much of it is still unexplored, and even though we live on land, Earth is truly an ocean world. The land itself is always changing too. Mountains may seem permanent, but some are still growing. The Himalayas, for example, continue to rise slowly because tectonic plates are still pushing together. This process began millions of years ago, when the Indian plate moved into the Eurasian plate. The movement is very slow, only a few millimeters or centimeters each year. But over time, this slow pressure has created the tallest mountains on Earth. A mountain range is not just stone standing still, it is part of a long, quiet movement of the planet's crust. Even the tallest peaks are still part of Earth's slow breathing. Sometimes the sky helps the ground in unexpected ways. Lightning can help create nutrients in the soil. The air around us is mostly nitrogen, but plants cannot use nitrogen gas directly in that form. When lightning flashes through the atmosphere, it can help change nitrogen into compounds that rain can carry down into the soil. There, plants can use these nutrients to grow, so even a storm seen from a calm distance can be part of Earth's natural cycle. Energy moves through the air, rain falls, soil is fed, plants grow. The world connects itself in quiet ways, and in colder air, water can become something delicate. Snowflakes form when water vapor freezes into ice crystals high in the clouds. Each snowflake grows as it falls, shaped by tiny changes in temperature and humidity. This is why snowflakes are often unique. Their paths through the air are never exactly the same. Some become simple shapes. Others form detailed patterns with branches and points. A snowflake is small, silent, and temporary. It may melt within seconds of landing, but for a short time, it carries a tiny record of its journey through the sky. A little piece of weather shaped by the air. Earth itself is not a perfect sphere. Because our planet spins, it is slightly wider at the equator and slightly flatter at the poles. This shape is called an oblate spheroid. The difference is not something we can notice just by standing outside. To us, Earth feels steady and round, but measured from space, the shape tells the story of rotation. Our planet turns once every day, carrying oceans, mountains, forests, cities, and clouds with it. It is easy to forget that we are moving, but even when everything feels still, Earth is gently spinning beneath us. There are also rivers hidden beneath the ocean. In some places, dense, salty water flows along the seafloor, almost like an underwater river. These flows can form when very salty water becomes heavier than the surrounding seawater and sinks. Because of the difference in density, the water can move in channels across the ocean bottom. It is a strange idea, water flowing through water. But the ocean is full of layers, currents, and hidden motion. Even in the deep, where sunlight does not reach, the water is not still. It is slowly traveling. Deserts are often imagined as hot places, but many deserts can become very cold at night. This happens because dry air does not hold heat well. In humid places, water vapor helps trap warmth near the ground, But in deserts, where the air is dry and skies are often clear, heat escapes quickly after sunset. The same place that feels burning hot during the day can feel cold after dark. Deserts are places of contrast, bright sun and cool night, open space and quiet wind, stillness with small signs of life. The deepest part of the ocean is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. The Mariana Trench reaches almost 11 kilometers below sea level. If Mount Everest were placed inside it, the peak would still be underwater. Down there, the pressure is immense, and sunlight never reaches the bottom. Yet even in this deep darkness, life exists. Tiny organisms, strange fish, and other creatures have adapted to conditions that seem almost impossible from the surface. The deep sea reminds us that life can be quiet, patient, and surprisingly strong. Even in the darkest places, Earth is not empty. Clouds can look weightless, but they can contain enormous amounts of water. A large cloud may weigh hundreds of thousands of kilograms. It does not fall from the sky all at once because the water is spread out in tiny droplets or ice crystals. These droplets are so small that rising air can hold them up. From the ground, clouds drift softly overhead. They change shape, gather light, and shade the land below. Something that looks light can still be full of substance. The sky too has hidden weight. Now, let's move from Earth's skies and oceans into the world of animals. Whales can sing for hours. Some whale songs are long and patterned, travelling through the ocean over great distances. These sounds can help whales communicate, especially in the wide open sea. The ocean carries sound differently than air. A song can move through dark water, reaching another whale far away. It is calming to imagine these deep voices passing through the blue. Slow sounds, long echoes, messages moving through the ocean. Whale songs remind us that communication does not always need to be quick or loud. Some creatures are quiet, intelligent, and very different from us. Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 of their hearts pump blood to the gills where oxygen is collected. The 3rd heart sends blood to the rest of the body. Octopuses also have blue blood because their blood uses copper to carry oxygen instead of iron. They are soft-bodied animals able to squeeze through small spaces. They can change color and texture. They can explore, solve problems, and hide with remarkable skill. An octopus is almost like a living question from the sea, gentle, strange, and beautifully designed for its world. Butterflies taste with their feet. When a butterfly lands on a plant, sensors on its feet help it detect chemicals. This can tell the butterfly whether the plant is a good place to lay eggs. To us, taste happens mostly in the mouth, but for a butterfly, the world is explored in another way. A leaf is not just something to stand on, it is information. This small fact makes a garden feel different. Every flower, stem, and leaf becomes part of a quiet conversation between plants and insects. Sea otters sometimes hold hands while they sleep. They do this to help keep from drifting apart in the water. Some also wrap themselves in kelp, using it like an anchor. Sea otters float on their backs, resting on the surface of the sea. Their thick fur keeps them warm, and their bodies move gently with the waves. It is one of the softer images in nature. 2 otters resting together, held by water, fur, and instinct. A small act of connection in a wide ocean. Elephants can recognize themselves in mirrors. This suggests that they have a strong sense of self-awareness. Not many animals have shown this ability. Elephants are also known for their memory, social bonds, and gentle care within their groups. They communicate with sounds, touch, and even low vibrations that can travel through the ground. An elephant's world is full of connection. Family matters, memory matters, presence matters. They move slowly, but they understand much. In their quiet strength, Elephants remind us that intelligence can be calm. Penguins can drink seawater. They have a special gland near their eyes that filters out extra salt. The salt leaves their body through their beak. This helps penguins survive in places where fresh water may be hard to find. In cold environments, penguins are beautifully adapted. Their bodies are shaped for swimming. Their feathers help keep them warm. Together, some species huddle closely through freezing winds. A penguin may look simple from far away, but its body is full of clever solutions. Nature often solves problems quietly. Cats use their whiskers to sense space. A cat's whiskers are connected to sensitive nerves. They help the cat understand nearby objects, air movement, and whether it can fit through a narrow space. Whiskers are not just decoration. They are tools for feeling the world. In low light, when vision is less clear, whiskers give extra information. This is one reason cats move so carefully and gracefully. They are not only seeing a room, they are sensing it. A quiet step, a soft paw, a small animal reading the air. Hummingbirds can fly backward. Their wings move in a special pattern, allowing them to hover, rise, drop, and reverse in mid-air. A hummingbird's body is tiny, but it uses energy very quickly. Its heart beats fast, and its wings can move so rapidly that they become a blur. Still, when you watch one near a flower, the motion can feel peaceful. A tiny bird, almost still in the air, wings moving too fast to follow. A small moment of balance. Turtles can feel through their shells. A turtle's shell is not like a helmet placed on top of its body. It is part of the turtle itself, made of bone and connected to nerves. This means turtles can sense touch, pressure, and sometimes even gentle scratches on their shells. The shell protects them, but it is also living tissue. It grows with them. It belongs to them. A turtle carries its home, its armor, and part of its body, all in one. Some frogs can survive being frozen. Certain species enter a frozen state during winter. Their bodies produce special substances that help protect their cells. When warmer weather returns, they thaw and become active again. Their heartbeat may slow dramatically. Their breathing may nearly stop, but they are not gone. They are waiting. This is one of nature's quiet survival tricks. Not dramatic, not rushed. Just a small animal sleeping through the cold until the world becomes soft again. Now let's turn inward to the science inside our own bodies. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy. Even when you are resting, your brain remains active. It helps manage breathing, memory, movement, emotions, and the quiet background work that keeps you alive. During sleep, your brain does not simply switch off. It changes rhythm. It organizes memories, processes experiences, and supports the body's recovery. The brain is always working, but not always loudly. Sometimes its most important work happens in the quiet, especially at night. Your heart beats around 100,000 times per day. Most of the time, you do not notice it. It works steadily, moment after moment, sending blood through your body. Each heartbeat is small, but together they form the rhythm of your life. The heart does not need attention to keep going. It simply continues while you walk, while you rest, while you listen, while you sleep. A quiet muscle, a steady pulse, a reminder that your body knows how to care for you. Humans glow very faintly. Our bodies give off a tiny amount of visible light. It is far too weak for our eyes to see, but sensitive cameras can detect it. This faint glow comes from chemical reactions happening inside the body. It is not bright like a lamp or a star. It is soft, almost invisible. Still, there is something gentle about the idea. Even in darkness, the body gives off a little light, a quiet shimmer of life. Your bones are constantly renewing themselves. Bone may feel hard and unchanging, but it is living tissue. Throughout life, old bone is broken down and new bone is built. This process helps repair tiny damage and keeps the skeleton strong. Your bones support you every day, but they are not silent stone. They are active, alive, and changing slowly. Inside the body, renewal is always happening. Not all at once, not in a rush, just little by little. The human nose can detect many thousands of smells. Smell is deeply connected to memory and emotion. A familiar scent can bring back a place, a person, or a moment from years ago. The smell of rain on dry ground, fresh bread, cut grass, old books, a certain perfume. These small signals travel through the nose and into parts of the brain linked with memory. That is why smell can feel so personal, so quiet, and so powerful. Your skin is your largest organ. It protects you from the outside world, helps regulate temperature, and allows you to feel touch, pressure, warmth, and cold. Skin is always working. It heals small cuts, renews its surface, and senses the environment around you. It is the border between you and the world, but it is not a wall. It is alive and responsive. Every breeze, every warm blanket, every cool drop of water is noticed through the skin. Blinking helps clean your eyes. Each blink spreads a thin layer of tears across the surface of the eye. This keeps the eye moist, clears away tiny particles, and helps vision stay comfortable. Most blinking happens without thought. Your body simply knows when to do it. A blink is small and ordinary, but it is also useful. Again and again throughout the day, your eyes are gently refreshed. A tiny reset, a soft movement, a quiet form of care. Your body is home to many helpful microbes. A large number of them live in your gut, where they help with digestion and interact with your immune system. These microbes are tiny, but together they form an important community. Scientists are still learning how much they influence health, mood, and the body's balance. You are not just one living thing. You are also a home for many smaller forms of life working quietly within you. A little inner ecosystem. Fingerprints form before birth. While a baby is still developing in the womb, tiny ridges begin forming on the fingers. These patterns are shaped by genetics, growth, pressure, and small movements. By the time a person is born, their fingerprints are already unique. They stay with us for life, changing only if the skin is deeply damaged. The lines on your fingers are small maps from before you can remember. Quiet patterns made early, carried always. Sleep helps your brain organize memories. During sleep, the brain strengthens some connections and clears away information that is less important. This is one reason rest matters for learning. Sleep does not only help the body feel better, it also helps the mind sort through the day. Memories, emotions, and ideas are gently processed while you are unaware. Sleep is not empty time, it is a quiet workshop, and every night your brain returns there. Now, let's move outward again into the green world of plants, trees, and tiny life. Trees can be connected through underground fungal networks. These networks can link roots together and help move nutrients and chemical signals through the soil. Sometimes people call this the wood wide web. It is not exactly like human communication, but it is a real and fascinating connection. A forest is more than a group of separate trees. Below the surface, roots and fungi form relationships, hidden threads, shared resources, silent messages beneath fallen leaves. Some plants move toward the sun. This is called phototropism. Plants sense light and grow in its direction, helping them collect more energy for photosynthesis. A plant does not move the way an animal does. It does not walk or run, but it still responds to the world. Slowly, over hours and days, stems bend, leaves turn, growth follows light. It is a quiet kind of movement, almost too slow to see, but always reaching. Bamboo can grow incredibly fast. Some species can grow more than 1/2 meter in a single day under the right conditions. This fast growth comes from the structure of the plant. Bamboo grows from sections along its stem, allowing many parts to lengthen at once. Even though it can grow quickly, bamboo still feels peaceful to watch. Tall green stems, soft leaves, gentle movement in the wind. Fast growth does not always have to feel chaotic. Sometimes it is simply nature taking its moment. Moss does not have true roots. Instead, moss uses small structures to hold itself in place, and it absorbs water mostly through its leaves. Moss often grows in damp, shaded places, on stones, on tree bark, between cracks in old walls. It can make a surface feel ancient and soft. Moss is simple but not weak. It has survived for a very long time on Earth, quietly covering places where other plants may not grow. Small life can be very patient. Some plants respond to touch. The sensitive plant, for example, folds its leaves when touched. Other plants may change their growth patterns if they are brushed or moved by wind. Plants do not have nerves like animals, but they can still sense and react to their surroundings. They notice light, gravity, moisture, touch. Their lives are slower than ours, but they are not passive. They are listening in their own way. Algae and tiny ocean organisms produce a large amount of Earth's oxygen. Through photosynthesis, they use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create energy. Oxygen is released as part of that process, and much of the oxygen we breathe has a connection to life in the ocean. Not only forests, not only trees, but also tiny drifting organisms floating near the surface of the sea. Small things spread across a huge ocean can change an entire planet. Seeds can stay dormant for years. A seed may look dry and lifeless, but inside it is a tiny possibility. It waits for the right conditions. Enough water, warmth, oxygen, and sometimes light. When the moment is right, it begins to grow. Dormancy is one of nature's quietest forms of patience. Nothing seems to be happening. And then one day a root appears, a stem rises, a new plant begins. Flowers use colors and scents to attract pollinators. Bees, butterflies, birds, and other animals visit flowers for nectar or pollen. As they move from one flower to another, they help carry pollen between plants. This allows many plants to reproduce. A flower's color is not only beauty, its scent is not only pleasant. These are signals shaped by time. A garden is full of invitations, tiny movements, soft colors, quiet exchanges between living things. Fungi are more closely related to animals than plants. Mushrooms may look plant-like because they grow from the ground and stay in one place. But biologically, fungi belong to their own kingdom. They do not make food from sunlight like plants do. Instead, many fungi break down organic material, returning nutrients to the soil. Without fungi, forests would not work the same way. They are recyclers, partners, and hidden builders of ecosystems. Quietly, they help the world continue. A single teaspoon of soil can contain billions of microorganisms. Bacteria, fungi, tiny algae, and other microscopic life forms all live in the soil. They help break down matter, cycle nutrients, and support plant growth. Soil may look simple from above, just dirt perhaps, but under a microscope, it is full of activity, a tiny world beneath every step. Life supporting life. Quietly, constantly, and now as we near the end, let's return gently to the bigger picture. Science does not always have to feel fast, loud, or complicated. Sometimes science is simply noticing the moon moving away by a few centimeters each year, a snowflake forming in cold air, a whale singing through dark water, a seed waiting for rain, a heartbeat continuing without being asked. All around us, The universe is moving in slow and careful ways. Some things happen over seconds, others take millions of years. But each one belongs to the same quiet story, the story of matter, life, time, and change. A soft outro, and that brings us to the end of tonight's calm journey through science. We have travelled from the moon to distant stars, from deep oceans to quiet forests, from tiny microbes to the steady rhythm inside the human body. There is still so much more to learn, but for now there is nothing more you need to do. Let the facts fade softly. Let the images become quiet. The moon is still above us. The earth is still turning. The oceans are still moving. And somewhere, in the dark soil, in the deep sea, and in the wide sky, science continues gently. You can rest now. Good night.